Hello friends, this is RedUnicorn playing Rimworld, and today I'm going to show you the FSF Complex Jobs mod by FrozenSnowFox in 6 minutes. 6 minutes, you might ask? Yes, I didn't manage to do it in 3. I'm sorry. This is one of my favorite mods. It really improves the game in my opinion, and I couldn't do it in 3. So, first off, I'm going to have to say that this mod comes in different versions. I'm using the legacy version. There is the normal version too, same author. If you click on it, it says that this version of the mod may break saves for some people, and for somebody who's recording their playthroughs for YouTube, that might not be the best idea. So you could use this one, of course. It gets updated more frequently. I'm going to stick with the legacy version. Okay then, let me show you what this mod can do. Okay friends, so this is what the work tab looks like when you start out. I highly recommend, even if you do not use a mod, to do manual priorities. It looks complicated at first, but it's actually pretty straightforward. If everything is set to the same number, Gecko, for example, will do his tasks from the left to the right, which means that he will do the basic things up front, and then he will cook before construction, before tailoring and crafting and hauling, cleaning, researching. If you want him to prioritize researching above everything else, you need to crank this up by 1, which means that the lower the number, the higher the priority. This is how the normal work tab works in vanilla. What vanilla does is that it joins a few tasks together. You can see this if you mouse it over here. For example, doctoring means tending to patients, operating on patients, feeding them, and also visiting sick people to cheer them up. Same thing is for crafting, for example. Crafting means that they do things at the crafting spot. They also make stone blocks if you set them to craft. So, let's say you have a crafting spot and you want to make a short bow. You want them to make the short bow before they do any tailoring, like before they make clothing. So you crank this up, right? Because you want them to make the short bow before they tailor. But then they are finished with the short bow. And what are they going to do? Are they going to tailor? Nope, they're not. They're going to go stone cutting, because stone cutting is included in crafting, and stone cutting, with this default, you set it at a higher priority than tailoring. So you need to open your work tab and change it back, because now you want them to tailor before they do the stone cutting. Right? There's many different areas in which this is the case. For example, also doctoring. Maybe you want to set more than one person to doctoring, but only the better person is supposed to do the operations. Well, yeah, then when you schedule an operation, make sure to turn the other person's doctoring off. Otherwise, yeah, that might go very badly. So this is how vanilla works. You can work with it, but you're probably going to have to do a little bit more micromanagement to make sure your pawns do what you want them to do. So friends, this is the work tab with the FSF Complex Jobs mod. Don't be alarmed, it looks a little more complicated, because what this mod does is actually split certain tasks. Like instead of one tab doctoring, we now have doctor, nurse and surgeon. Instead of crafting, we got it crafting, stone cutting, smelting, refining, cremating. This got all split off of each other. What this means in reality is that you can fine-tune your tasks a little bit better. You can say, okay, I want this one, Sophia, the one to be the doctor and the surgeon, but I want the other one to be the nurse, which means that the nurse will feed the patients and visit sick people while the doctor doesn't bother, so that the nurse manages to increase their skill levels. Also, cook, butcher and brewing. I like to use butchering on a pawn I want to up the cooking skill with, because if they butcher animals, yes, the yields will be lower, but that's okay. And they can also make kibble without poisoning and giving anybody food poisoning. So that's what I like to do. They also split repair, deconstruct, and construct. Otherwise, sometimes you actually have to manually tell people that you want to do construction before you want them to repair anything. Otherwise, they will repair before deconstruct, before construct. This is the vanilla order of doing this here. And the most important thing is the crafting, because now I can actually tell them to, yes, craft, do the short bow please before you do smithing or tailoring, and before you do stone cutting. Now with this work tab, the pawns are going to do exactly what I tell them to do. There's a lot more detail to setting the tasks. If you don't like that, don't use it, but I personally, I don't think I could live without this mod anymore. There are mods that are even more complicated. There are mods where you have more than 4 numbers. As you can see, 4 is the lowest, and if you go any lower, they won't do it. There are mods like that have up until I think 7 or even number 9, but I find myself I don't really need that. There are mods that where you can set a pawn to do one work type in the mornings and another work type in the afternoons. But if you get raided and something, then I find that things are just not getting done. So yeah, I like this mod. I stick with this one. It takes a little bit more time to set it up in the beginning, but it saves you a lot of micromanagement too. So friends, this is the FSF Complex Jobs mod by FrozenSnowFox. If you found that helpful, please leave a like or a comment down below. And if you're interested in more of my Rimworld content, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and bye!